Right, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a Lexus RX 450. This is the SEL model, as you can see here, finished in black. Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a Lexus RX 450 SEL, finished in black with black leather interior. This particular car's covered just 55,000 miles and is in very, very nice condition. All the lights and lenses completely intact. Bumpers very, very clean and tidy. Only minimal amount of stone chipping. There will be a few, of course. It has done a few miles, but they are few and far between. Generally very, very good indeed. Come around to the near side of the vehicle first. Clean as a whistle in the panel work, no indentations at all. Front wing and bumper corner absolutely clean. Front near side alloy really good, just one or two tiny little marks. Worth pointing out, full set of Pirelli Scorpion tyres on the car. Very, very good sign of ownership. The panel works really, really clean. It's not to say there isn't going to be the odd minor mark. Clearly there will be on a black car this age, but they are very light indeed. Rear alloy again Pirelli tyre, really good. Just a tiniest little bit of curb rash just there, a tiny bit there as well, but that certainly does not detract from the car at all. Bumper corners again, really good. Generally around the back, which is obviously the way you sort of load the car up, it's good. There is the odd minor mark which you're obviously going to get on any used car, but it is very clean and original, this car. And panel work down this side again, really, really nice. Offside rear alloy, pretty much unmarked, can't see anything on there. And then panel work down this side, it's all really, really clean. This has been washed off, it's not been polished or sort of made to gleam artificially. It's as it is, and then final alloy, clean as a whistle. So overall, looking at a car which is now coming up to 8 years old, which is in really lovely condition. Coming into the boot area, nice big size boot, good load sill height as well. As you'd expect from Lexus, beautifully finished. They really do build these cars wonderfully well. SEL model, obviously these have the air suspension, and you can lower the air suspension from the back here to aid getting things in and out if you so wish. I always forget to do this bit. Just press the button there. Just want to show you that the electric tailgate's working exactly as it should. Coming to the back now, offside rear door card, absolutely as clean as a whistle. The interior of the car is absolutely fantastic, much like the exterior, being kept really, really nicely. Door card on that side again, as with this side, beautiful. The leatherwork is just so crisp and clean. It is real credit to its last owners. Coming to the front now, driver's door card again, very good indeed. All this sort of sill area is really nice and clean. Obviously full electrical adjustment on the seat you'd expect on the SEL model, and the leather seat looks absolutely superb, it really does. All the bolsters are really clean and tidy. If I come across to the passenger seat, try not to shake too much with my one hand, but you can see there, it looks pretty much as new. It's in really lovely condition. So sitting inside the car now, obviously engine's running, it has been all the way through. Passenger door card there at the front, again clean. Dashboard's in beautiful condition as you'd expect. Wonderfully built cars. Obviously huge specifications. You can see there, sat nav all working exactly as it should. Pop the car into reverse. You've got a lovely clear rear parking camera as well. Sorry, I've got a slightly shaky hand there. And then if you press the button on these SEL models, you get the near side cameras as well. That's all working exactly as it should. Obviously Mark Levinson stereo, very high quality affair, but all in really beautiful condition. Obviously air conditioned and heated seats again as part of the SEL package. And then coming across the main binnacle, just pan in there for you, 55,797 miles, and apart from low fuel, no warning lights on the car at all. steering wheel kind of pretty much looks and feels as new in hand as well, but really is fabulous car. Finally, just to show you, we do have the original owner's manual pack for car and navigation system, plus also, very importantly, locking wheel nut set is here and present with the car, quite often overlooked in fact. What will follow this video will be a road test of this very car. Now then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Lexus RX 450, obviously a hybrid car. This is the SEL model. This particular car is registered, if I can read it, GY10UEH, and the mileage at the start of this brief road test is 55,789 miles. The reason we do the road tests is very simple indeed. We just want customers to see the cars that we're selling in operation prior to coming to see us. That way, if there are any issues with the vehicle that's immediately obvious to us or otherwise, we will relay them back to you, and we always do. We've been on the receiving end ourselves of travelling many hours to go and see cars, having asked if there was any problems with the car, only to find out that there was fundamental issues which we clearly should have been told about, and hence that's why we do the videos, to bring those to your attention if there are any present, as rare as it might be. Road tests are also done on the same very quiet country roads just outside our premises, so hopefully it'll be representative of what you'll feel yourself when you drive the car, if offered a test drive. So coming to the car itself, and obviously clearly it's been extraordinarily well looked after by the Lexus main dealers, so it comes as no surprise to find out that mechanically it's in really fantastic order. Engine, you obviously press a button to start the engine and it goes into hybrid mode, the engine kicks in and out as it's meant to do so, and it all works absolutely perfectly. Wonderful engines, brilliantly suited to this application. It's smooth, it's tuneful, as only a V6 petrol can actually be. It's a lovely unit, and this one performs exactly as intended. There's absolutely no warning lights on the dashboard relating to the engine or any other part of the vehicle for that matter. Temperature gauge running at just under half. It's been driving for well over an hour now, so clearly up to full operating temperature, and that's exactly where it should be on a Lexus model. Engine then feeds through into the auto gearbox, obviously CVT gearbox on this hybrid car, and it is perfectly tuned to the engine and the nature of what this car is all about. Absolutely seamless in operation, a word which I continually use to describe hybrids because I can think of no other word that's better suited to it. The reason being is normally on auto cars you've normally got gears in the gearbox, but you can actually feel the gear change, even on the very best ones, on certainly around the lower gears. This one, you put your foot down, engine revs pick up, and then you just have this elastic band feel where it just catches up with the engine revs. It's absolutely brilliant. It works beautifully. It is without doubt the smoothest way to drive any vehicle. It really is just a wonderful system, and all working exactly as it should, as you'd expect with the history and mileage of this vehicle. Steering of the car, very well weighted, there's no vibrations, track's absolutely bullet straight. Again, it's very well suited to the car. Obviously the SEL models run on air suspension. They seem, compared to the coil spring versions, or the standard suspension system rather, to sit slightly flatter through the corners, but that might be my imagination, but almost certainly is. But it's very controlled. I've had 2 or 3 of these, so this is a bit of a busman's holiday driving the car, but they're very smooth. We did a lovely trip to North Wales, up around mountainous roads, where you're sort of zigzagging around, and the car was really comfortable. There was no kind of flopping around, which I've had in previous 4-wheel drives, which can be quite unsettling. This is so smooth. There's also absolutely no noises coming from underneath the vehicle in terms of kind of metallic or mechanical noises that shouldn't be there, which would suggest a bit of wear in the system, or its suspension joint certainly. brake pedal, by the way, so just give them a nice shove there. Nice smooth pedal, lovely bite point, powerful. There's absolutely no vibrations or pulsing coming back through the brake pedal at all, so it all suggests some very good order. The vehicle it's actually got an MOT until April, but it's going to go for a brand new MOT hopefully later today, so it'll have a 12-month MOT on the vehicle, certainly at the time of road test here. And again, it was last serviced by the Lexus main dealers in April last year. It's not due quite on age or mileage, but we will be doing an engine service as part of the pre-delivery inspection of the vehicle, so there'll be nothing to do for the next 12 months. Looking around inside the car, these are beautifully made cars. Very nice places to sit and operate the vehicles from. I'm the first to admit, if you look at one of my old videos, when I first got one of these, I jumped out of an RX 400, and that was kind of old school, really nice, dead easy to use, everything. I sat in here and thought, oh my goodness me, it's got this little mouse pad thing, and it kind of phased me initially. Now I've had them, I can see why they've done it. It's really simple to use. But what they haven't taken away is the option to press buttons to do your climate control system or press buttons to do your radio, rather than having to rely on this. And that's very good, and that's a very clever system that Lexus have introduced, because a lot of people won't want to use that. As easy as it actually is, they'll want to sort of do it manually in the old-fashioned way, but it's all working absolutely beautifully. On these SEL models, we've got lovely big high-up sat-nav system, very simple and easy to use. Also, the Mark Levinson stereo system is absolutely wonderful, so if you like your music, then you'll really appreciate that. The fact that the car's so quiet obviously helps with the sound reproduction as well, so it's not battling against sort of lots of external noises and grumblings going on. But as I said, everything working exactly as it should. The whole car just feels really tight and taut. As I often say in the videos, quite often people, when they're buying a 450, will come from a 400. It's like the most common and popular part exchanging against these. People want to maintain their ownership with Lexus, and understandably so. Those that may be looking at other manufacturers, notably things like kind of Volvo XC90, Mercedes ML, Q7 Audi, X5 BMWs, all fine cars in their own right, so I'm not here to beat them up in that sense, but all of them probably at this age and vintage will be turbo diesel, and they're nowhere near as reliable. That's fundamentally the case. But they're also much more gravelly sounding, and slightly lumpier in power delivery in terms of kind of gearboxes and everything else. This is so serene by comparison. It's so silky smooth, it's amazing. But we're not all the same. What I like isn't what everyone else likes. I totally appreciate that. But if you want a combination of refinement, performance, and ultimately amazing reliability and build quality, the Lexus is head and shoulders above all of those, certainly on the used car market when a car's sort of 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, whatever happens to be. But as an example of one, it's absolutely fantastic. The point of the video was to raise any issues or concerns I might have on the vehicle, and there's absolutely nothing at all, and that's not for want of trying, by the way. Clearly, however, if I've missed something on the video, then as I always say, don't hesitate, do give me a call, and I'll happily look into any issues or any questions you might have.